You could just let me go, you know. No one would have to know. I could make you a rich man.
Not interested, spy. Keep walking.
Conversely, I could escape right now and ruin your life. Bring the wrath of the very gods down on you in your pretty little town. Make sure the gearsmen have orders to keep you alive so you can watch as they burn down everything you people have built and everyone you hold dear.
Or, since you're not going anywhere, you could shut your mouth, and maybe you'll get something to eat tonight.
I'm just giving you a fair warning, Red Fang.
It's Aldrin to you.
Fine, Aldrin. All I'm saying is, you have a choice. I'm going to go free either way. I know what I would choose. Instead of responding with words, Red Fang merely grunts and gives Alaris a little shove forward, just to remind her of her position. The bell tower is just ahead, 100 yards away, and he can lock her away and forget the headache for a little while.
Improba Manu.
Oh! Happens in a blink. Less than that. Alaris whispers something. Red Fang's hands explode with pain. She spins around, jumps through her own bound arms to get them in front of her, grabs his hatchet off his belt, all with incredible speed. Red Fang raises an arm, grabbing for the axe, but she ducks inside the clumsy maneuver and buries the head of the thing in his chest. Red Fang sputters, his head spinning, and falls to his knees. As his vision starts to blur, he watches the spy rush off down the street, disappearing entirely as she goes. This is Pod Against the Machine.
Pod Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pod Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play podcast that comes with a free 9,000-year-old party pack. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
The centuries bring the flavor. Hello.
Hello.
Like a fine wine or old beef.
Yeah, and actually, old beef and fine wine is my favorite of those that I've found.
Knew it. As soon as I said it. Zach is going to make this a thing.
It's really the old beef lingering flavor that makes it. Don't get me, the fine wine is a good addition, but man, that beef is old.
Just the oldest beef.
What's that? Oh, what the heck's it called? That it's a Korean dish. It's kind of like coleslaw, and you like bury it and let
Kimchi?
it
Oh,
ferment.
kimchi.
Yeah. It's like that, but just 9,000 years.
No, kimchi is great. Don't do that to kimchi.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's way more horrific like animal protein fermentations that we could talk about, and those are.
No, it's delicious. That's what I'm saying. Imagine that if you let it sit for 9,000 years, how good it would be.
So I have some koji that's been going for almost 4 years now, and I'm almost ready to open it. It is as black as my heart. It looks beautiful. And also, big ups to our wonderful GM friend, Jason, who is going to already know that we're talking about kimchi in this episode, because I feel like he's brought it up at least 3 times in the food chat. What's up, my guy?
Our kimchi friend.
Yeah.
It's a great kind of friend.
Hey, Jason.
Let's do this in every episode where we just hyper-focus on one person from the Discord and make them uncomfortable.
Are you uncomfortable yet? You have to tell us, or we can't continue the
Jason,
episode.
buddy, how you doing? Not good?
Check out the 25 North podcast.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Then then the next episode of 25 North, they spend the first 10 minutes talking awkwardly about Zach.
That's what I assume anyone's doing when they're talking about me.
You did say we had to sing You're the One That I Want.
Oh, that's true.
Episode.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I almost forgot. Wow.
Hoo, honey.
He
There
requested
it is.
Sam and Jeff, but I assumed that Zach would get on as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll do all the baritone parts in this song. Our barbershop tritet that we got going on here.
Definitely not a trio.
No, try tet. Which is
Too easy.
Which is
It's a future trio.
Yeah, that is what those three gearsmen were doing with all of their spare time, is beautifully harmonizing before we laid them to waste.
We were just singing Grease songs in the background.
Well, in the previous episode, the party took a look inside a crumpled tube and found living, horrible tumor piles, which were pretty easy to kill but pretty hard to get to stay dead. Eventually, they managed to figure out that acid did the trick and managed to not roll too many natural ones and get those to stay down. After that, they found the old pantry of the building that they're in, where somebody had constructed a bunker and written all sorts of notes about the signal and Unity, and feeling bad about mind stealing and not being able to get Unity often enough for their taste. It seemed poignant. And then Brixby floated on over to the other side of this building, which triggered a trap, but since he was floating and he is an invulnerable flying rat, he managed to dodge the trap entirely, but it did wake up some gearsmen. So he flew back to the party, and everybody took a little time to plan, during which the gearsmen came on over and demanded Cassandra Lee. With no Cassandra Lee to provide them, they turned to fisticuffs, and the gearsmen were soundly defeated. That's where we are now.
What are these losers carrying?
Wow.
So overconfident at this point.
Let's see how it is. Each of them had a time-worn laser pistol, and each of them had a masterwork spear.
Dang.
So, one of them at least was electrically charging the spear. Can I throw out knowledge engineering to see? I'm guessing that's something the gearsman could do and not the weapon itself.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to aid my guy Asher. My roll. I aid.
Yeah, your aid roll is too higher than my roll, but for the rules of the game, that brings my roll up to your roll. So 25 on knowledge engineering.
So that is enough to know that capacity each gearsman has innately is the ability to charge any metal weapon that it's wielding with electricity, causing it to do additional electricity damage every time it hits.
Does that deplete any of their vitality?
Nah. They got so much power, they can just hang out in torpor for 9,000 years.
Fair.
No problem.
Those piezoelectric batteries. They just recharge themselves by existing.
I guess I'm going to slip back into the room. Looks all clear in here.
Hey, should we be concerned that they're asking about Cassandra Lee, Asher's dear friend and confidant?
I've never met her. I've just been carrying a letter.
Yeah.
From what I gather so far, right, there is this Unity situation, and it communicates some way. I don't know if these are the screaming machinis, as we've called them thus far, but I had a feeling the Unity has known about Cassandra Lee for a while. Anything that's even vaguely in touch with it might also. But yeah, no, I would agree. That's definitely cause for concern. All the more reason for us to eventually sort that out. Whenever we're done being front page news in the old Ziplip Staggeroni. Can't remember the name of it. Daily Stag, that's what it is.
Old Stag Daily.
There we go.
Before getting too much farther into the room, Asher would take a moment to put the misfired revolver into his pack. So, and he'll take the non-misfired revolver out from his left hand, put it in his right holster. It's important to know which is which for the fan art. And in the left holster, he'll holster his +1 pistol. all fully loaded with mundane cartridges, because those are clearly the last robots we're going to encounter.
Oh, definitely.
And he also booped himself once with the wand. I just never got a chance to say it last episode, but I took it off my sheet, don't worry. Someone's going to be listening and be like, there's no way he was down 12 HP.
It's the same person running Asher's Armaments Twitter. It's just also like we gotta serve those people. I'm sure there's somebody out there tracking our HP. We aren't, but I'm sure someone is.
Well, as you move into this half of the room, and it really does seem like this was just one gigantic room that has been split by the cave-in. You see that like there's all sorts of scorch marks and scrapped gearsmen and stuff in here. It looks like there was a big fight all through this room, and it looks like this stuff's been here forever. But it was a slobber knocker, as one says.
Old barn burner.
Wait.
And,
What? It was a what?
Slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker.
A
Slobber knocker.
barn burner, as it were.
Like, I've never heard that in my life.
in the
You can
parlance
say a
of
barn burner of a slobber.
the WWE
In the
from
parlance
a
of...
certain era.
Got it.
In the parlance of WWF commentators in the mid
say it was
1990s.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it was WWE.
Jim Ross. I couldn't remember his name.
That was Jim Ross, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, Jim Ross. Yeah.
But around where Kira is in this pile of scrap, there's a particularly interesting looking, like kind of insectile robot that's been scrapped. Looks like it, was another casualty of whatever this battle was.
Can we engineer the bug bat?
Oh, you can totally engineer the bug bot.
All right. Engineero engaged. But it's a 15 for 31.
Wow.
Robert the Engineero.
Wow. Yeah, what you're looking at is the remains of a Myrmidon robot. With that 31, I mean, you know that a Myrmidon robot is like a class beyond anything that you've encountered. Like it's if you wanted to put a CR on it, it's like a CR 11 kind of thing. Like, big deal. Whoever smashed this wasn't messing around.
Brixby turns on his disc, and his face is grave. Like up until this point, I would say he's been pretty. I mean, he was angry that his external audio card wasn't working last episode for about 15 minutes, but then he really came around when we were dealing above 60 damage in numerical succession. That was great. 62, 63, 64. But he turns around and his face is fallen, and he's just like, This that lies behind me right now. One of those. I don't know. The four of us could take it. And yes, I'm aware of what we just did to those gearsmen in that hole. Just 30, 40 feet to my left. This. Heard of this. It's a Myrmidon. I didn't believe stories at first. They get a little yampy, right? But this looks down again and looks up. It's a considerable foe, and it lays dead. Should be on our guard. Not that we aren't, but heck.
Can you tell how long it's been smashed?
Can I?
It's hard to say with any specificity, but it's been a long time. Definitely years.
It's been dead for a while, so it may be old Jowd, Showd, whatever his name is, and the other one.
Those guys.
What's the other guy's name? It's like Zhao.
Sahasho.
Sahasho.
Shroud and Sahasho.
I only remembered Ho, and I was like, Ho Ho. Zoud and Ho-Oh, his companion.
It is legendary birds Ho-Oh.
Oh, yeah.
But it may have been those individuals we saw earlier on that record. That kind of real life replayer that we saw, because video isn't really a word we use.
Is there anything left of use for this, or is it all wrecked beyond repair or salvage?
Yeah, can my super garbage craft mechanical +7 allow me to recreate this Myrmidon robot? And
I don't want to
ride
necessarily
it?
recreate it, but if it's like, oh yeah, it has that, +3 Vorpal laser cannon.
Yeah, like, can we salvage a weapon off of
besides
it?
the obvious
it looks like-
+3 Vorpal cannon, is anything else on there?
It looks like everything was built into it tightly enough that you can't really salvage anything. It's all part of the same destroyed business.
We can't, like, yank off one of those fake tentacles and make it into a +5 whip or something.
Sadly, no.
No, it's just like the modern laptops. Everything is all soldered in there.
Yeah. Clearly, it was
So-
Androphin Apple.
It's got like a system on a chip situation.
And
in
Drapple.
there. They're all running off of Zigbee. Oh no.
There was no right to repair
Oh,
in the Androphin Star Empire.
Lisa
Truly a
OS.
dystopia.
But honestly, yeah, that is a cool and interesting thing that Jeff the player brings up, which is this is one of the few APs where enemies that you defeat could potentially have usable weapons that are part of their bodies. There's not really anything else where you're like, I'm going to salvage that arm and I'm going to beat somebody to death with it. I guess unless you're Kira, because that sounds like kind of a Kira thing to do. But
Whoa.
what? You wouldn't punch somebody
Shot
with someone else's
fired.
arm? I feel
Not
like
when I
that
have a
is.
chainsaw.
I guess that's true.
I mean, yeah, okay, sure. If there were no other weapons around, yeah, I'd obviously rip off an arm and punch someone in the face.
I mean, we did run into that one Smiler whose arm was just a two-handed axe.
Hatchet hand.
A whole hatchet hand.
I just clearly want Battle Zoo monster parts in 1E. But anyway, what's to the northwest?
That's true. What is?
On the northwest side of the room, I mean, there's more evidence of battle, and then there is a door up there.
And what about this sitch right here?
That's just like more rubble and scrap, and looks like maybe a load-bearing column of some kind.
All right, I knocked that out. let's take care of that before we go any further.
Iden Bay falls on you. Everyone dies.
Oh no! I finally got Sam to Rocks Fall. Everyone dies us. It only took 100-something episodes. So I'm gonna just quickly check to see if this is trapped before we do our thing. So it's 13 off the die for a 27.
It doesn't seem to be trapped.
Yep, no tripwires or anything else here.
And he takes a step to the north. Readies his rapier.
Kira looks at Asher.
Draws both guns.
Oh, your hands are full, I got it. I kick the door. Up. Hey. Little guy.
As you
Oh, that's...
pop the door open,
a
you
kitty.
see
Is that Peter Weller?
kind of slumped over in the back of the room is... It looks kind of like a gearsman, but at the same time, it's like if somebody just built like the premium model gearsman. Like if somebody decided, hey, you know what they need is like an extra set of armor and like some gigantic shoulder pads and like gold highlights and maybe just like a
Rims.
laser rifle that they could just
Does it have spinning rims?
rims.
on each one of its joints there's rims that are just inexplicably spinning.
What about undercarriage lighting?
Given.
Yeah, it's got ground effects under its feet.
3 or
I
4
did
like
posters.
anime stickers on the side, so it really looks like a car from my neighborhood at this point.
It's got a sticker on it for an engine that clearly is not in it.
It's a family-friendly podcast. We don't talk about undercarriage.
That's for Pot Against the Machine After Dark.
Beyond the Feet tier with Jeff.
I did pop a picture of this thing in the Discord if you want to see it full body, because the icon is just like a head and torso kind of shot.
I hate that.
So chubby.
Oh, yeah, he's thick.
It's not a kid.
Also, that's
Just thinking
that is straight up Peter Weller. It's even doing the pose.
Yeah, that's the big guy.
That is RoboCop. That
And,
is 100% RoboCop. He's doing the pose and everything.
Uh-oh. Is Dumpster Daddy angry?
Oh, no.
Well, Dumpster Daddy seemed like he was sleeping, but as that door opens, it's like that was a trigger, and like the head kind of raises up and the light comes on and he comes into a ready position. And it says in a, deeper kind of robot voice, primary objective complete. Fugitive exterminated. Remains required per Unity Directive 1. Please submit remains of traitor Cassandra Lee or face immediate execution.
Hi. I'm new to this whole language thing, but could you give us any more details about the traitor remains? Just so we can identify and bring them here to you and not get executed. And then just like over her shoulder, Asher, can you do the one thing of when you're nice and convincing?
Yeah, there's remains in the other room, right? Right.
So many remains.
Asher will quickly switch out all of his rounds for adamantine.
Switch out.
Every single one.
Submit traitor remains. You have 6 seconds to comply.
That is more than enough time. Reloading is a free action.
I feel like you're not being super helpful. I'm gonna offer it a goo tube because we have 217 of those now.
Kira, get out of there.
I think it
Backing
takes a goo tube offer as an aggressive act.
The threat?
Disarm roll. CMD
knows.
versus GooTube.
It knows what goo tubes are. Roll for initiative.
Fair.
Cassandra Lee invented goo tubes. Little did we know.
Out. We're gonna fight it.
All right. Well, since Kira's in the room, what is her initiative?
Well, hopefully this isn't an indication of future rolls now that this is decent. 19 plus 5, 24.
All right. And Brixby.
Brixby rolls a 7 for a 15.
All right. Asher.
18 off the die for a 23.
And Alwyn.
17 on the die for a 24.
Almost everybody's speedy today. Let's see.
And I think
Alwyn,
Kira's
Kira,
actually
who's-
above me. I have a +7. What's Kira's?
Plus
I
5.
think you're first.
I think you're higher, right? Oh, no, you're only +5? Okay.
You got it, Alwyn. You're up first.
Okay. Swift action. He pops that wand out again and is going to shoot this thing with electricity through the door. So that is a DC 18 reflex save.
23.
Okay, so that's half damage. But it's electricity, so hopefully that hurts it. And so half would be 9 points of electricity damage.
All right. So that looks like it did a little more than that.
7 of those left. And he's gonna take a 5-foot step directly back just to kind of let anybody else that wants to get through the door in either direction do so.
All right, Kira.
Let's start with the basics for now. Let's see how things go before we decide to embiggen or not embiggen. Sam, pretend I didn't say that. That's not for you. Will
I have no idea that might happen.
step forward. Take a 5-foot step forward and go still with the sword. That is made of hard stuff. So 14 plus, I have it 16. 20, 30.
30 will hit.
And then we're doing 2d6. Should have switched that grav clip over. Would have been real nice. 8 plus also 16, 24.
24. All right. Of adamantine damage. Don't like it.
Yeah. Okay, and then second attack. Also be a d20. 17 plus 11?
That will hit.
And then some more d6s. 7 plus... Let's say 7 plus 10. I feel okay about that. 17.
All right. Didn't like that either.
Great. 5-foot step. Didn't technically say raging, so we'll say that's plenty for now. Cool. And at the end of my turn, I will rage. There we go.
All right, Asher.
Asher absolutely did dump his 6 mundane rounds on the ground, and while he was saying, "Give us the remains," like Jeff wasn't joking. There are now 6 adamantine rounds in this revolver, and hey, Asher's an exact. It is literally a free action with rapid reload to load the entire chamber of an advanced firearm, all 6. So it's just as a boom, flap rounds, and so Asher will spend a swift action to focus his aim, and then we'll just do a rapid shot, deadly aim, full attack on old RoboCop. 18 is the lowest against touch.
Yeah, they'll all hit.
Sweet. That is going to be 3d8 plus 33.
We'll be fine. This is going so well.
44 points of damage, bypassing hardness, adamantine.
It's pretty adamant mean.
Hey.
Hey.
All right. The big, hefty, gearsy boy is just going to take a 5-foot step to the northeast and level that rifle at Kira. Just fire a semi-automatic, deadly aim. 15 versus touch.
Yes. Blur.
58. That hits it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That is 13 damage.
Okay.
Shot number 2 is 17 versus touch.
Yep.
Gonna keep losing my D100. Nope. 11 on the blur.
Hey, Blur.
And the final shot is a 21 versus touch.
Actually, that won't do it. It was going to be so funny if I said it right the first time, and also we hadn't made that joke 82 times before. Go ahead.
61 on the blur for a total of 16 fire damage.
Almost wrote down 61 damage, and it seemed unnecessary. Okay, that's 13 plus 16, 9, 29.
All right, and that's its last shot, so go ahead and kill it.
Okay.
It's Brixby.
Brixby is... Oh, man. It's not a whole lot I can do without getting in the way of one of my friends or going into this room and just straight up not being the one. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry I'm so useless, folks.
Could you go that square under me and have line of sight on it?
I could
Would
try.
that-
I'm
Oh no, I guess it wouldn't
a
be.
scoochadoo down there, but I think that the ultimate arbiter will be the dang old... I mean, it looks like with the dimension or the dynamic lighting that I could see at least half of this icon, which means I could probably go corner to corner with this bad boy when it comes to squares.
Gets a little bit of a cove.
A little cove. It's not going to matter because that bad boy is also taking a -4 to his AC and saving throws instead, because that's what I'm doing right now. And that's Brixby's knowledge of the engineering variety. He would like to roll and figure out why the beef on this boy. So there's the roll. Oh, the digital dice was on 20 and it flopped over to an 8. So it's just a 24.
All right. I mean, I think that's enough to know that you're looking at an augmented gearsman, which is not nearly as common as normal gearsman, but it's the same general idea. It's just a gearsman that has, maybe in this case, some class levels.
Don't worry, everybody. This gearsman has class.
That's it. As you can
Just
tell,
the classiest.
Playing as a gentleman.
keeping the finger off of the rifle, the pinky high, the entire time as they're shooting. All right, that's Brixby's useless turn.
Yeah, he's got 3 levels in the Old Spice gentleman class.
Yeah, it's explaining which fork to use when. Alwyn.
Alwyn's gonna take advantage of that -4 on its saves and zap at it with a wand again.
I think that's only an 11.
Ooh, that is a fail. That'll be full damage. That is 13 points of damage. That's only slightly higher than the half damage last time. There were a lot of 1s in those 5.
Well, with the electrical vulnerability and the fact that Kira just mauled this thing, that is enough to send it back to the scrap heap.
We are so good at this game.
Yeah, we're good at that. I mean, it's so funny that we had this like moment where we were getting our butts collectively kicked by hardness and robots, and we were like, never again. All the party gold, adamantine. This is like at level 4. We're just like, give us robots, we will destroy them. Everything else we're gonna struggle with a little bit, but like, yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but I am very proud of us for being able to get over, at least half of us, to be able to get over hardness. And Alwyn being able to cast Mind Affecting is kind of a game changer. So, screw off contracts. What can we rip off of this loser's dead
It'll be
body?
more of a game changer when he has more than 2 mind-affecting spells.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, now that you can take a second to see into this room, there are lines of runes printed over the 2 doors. There's a door sort of on the northeast or northwest and southwestern side, and both of them have Androphin printed over them. There are several tattered, strange suits of armor hanging in shreds from hooks in the alcove between the 2 doors.
What does the Androphin say?
Just because you can read them.
All of us can.
Yeah.
On the southern side, the Androphin says canister access, and the one on the northern side says nanotech laboratory.
Brixby points at the ladder, and it's like,
We should be very careful with that one.
after the nanite swarm was something. I mean, again, we got pretty lucky because Asher's got the Swarm Bane clasp, and Kira had that clutch move. But, like, woof.
How y'all feeling about canister access?
Did this robotic policeman have anything of value on its person?
Just this time-worn rifle that I found in the loot channel.
Oh, I see.
That thing's a rifle? He is huge.
It's a big boy. One-handing a rifle.
For the folks at home, I think I kind of mentioned it earlier, but the pose that the augmented gearsman is in is he's got one hand out in front of him holding what looks like a slightly overlarge pistol, which is apparently a full-sized rifle. He is a big boy.
Space Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
Straining the limits of the medium creature size. But yes, it's a big boy.
You said he had class levels. I assume it was Titan
And
Maul.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Is this of the similar make and model as the previous Time Worn laser rifle?
Yeah.
How many?
17 charges.
Oh, baby. Rixby's actually going to say,
Oh, instead of just going into the container room, how about we just, like, listen at the doors? See if there's anything in, you know. If it's a mechanical torpor, we won't know, but...
he's going to press his ear to the nanite door, because I guess he's, like, right there. Do you want a perception?
Has that been an option the entire time?
Yeah, just literally discovered it now, level 8.
Do you want a perception to listen at the door? Or do you want to just...
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. Look at my dude, Kira. That's an 8 off the die for a 22 for Brixby.
That's going to be a 16 plus 12 for Kira.
Whoa, that's
28.
28.
Well, if you're each listening at different doors, you both get about the same result. Total silence on the other side.
Did you hear anything down there?
No, it's pretty quiet, but I guess it's been pretty quiet in all the other rooms we've entered until, we entered.
Yeah. I mean, does anyone else feel strongly about the containers versus the nanites? I just haven't been attacked by a container yet.
Could be a fun new experience. And before we pop the door open for a container punch, quick rifling through the shreds of armor. Did anybody have like a key card or cool artifact memory module? We found weird stuff in pockets before.
73 goo tubes.
It looks like the armor themselves is totally unsalvageable, just beyond repair. But there are stuffed in there several clear plastic, like it looks like kind of face masks, like something that goes over the entire face. The kind of thing that you might want to roll knowledge engineering on them.
Right.
Ooh.
Do it down.
That for Asher would be a 28.
Dirty 20 for old Brixby.
Oh, well, Asher is able to identify these as time-worn filter masks.
Ooh.
Filter masks are clear plastic shields worn over the entire face with an ionized filter and scrubber that purifies the air the user breathes and gives the mask an unintentionally fearsome look. While the mask has power, the wearer is completely immune to inhaled toxins and diseases. Even when the mask has no power, it still grants a +3 resistance bonus on saving throws against airborne toxins and diseases.
And are they all at full capacity? Like full?
Yeah,
10
they
charges?
They all have a full 10 charge, so they can run for 10 hours.
And are these like the one that we saw in like at 3 in Torch, at 5?
The thing we couldn't
Yeah,
afford.
there was one of these for sale in Torch.
Nice.
A long, long time ago.
Thanks for that sky medal, Sam. Man, you're so generous. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
you should have a sky
Oh,
medal for
wow! That was honestly not deserving. And a little pandering on my part, but I stand on a disc,
I'll
not
take it.
decorum. Come on.
How many of those were there?
There are a total of 3.
Nice.
Of course.
Everyone but Brixby puts them on.
You have to know by now, it's always going to be one less than the party.
Yeah, they're all,
Yeah.
I assume they're all
I
medium-sized.
noticed, I notice it also says they're slotless, which means we can have them on and still have any of our head stuff on.
Yeah, they don't take up your head slot. Very weirdly.
Then yeah, Asher will kind of explain what they do to the party and kind of smooth down his beard and then put on this wicked face mask.
So who is... I don't really want to... Because I feel like it's probably you big stuff, but who is the most fortitudinous amongst the ilk? If I had to enumerate it, it would be like a 5 bonus for me. Unless it was disease. It'd be higher.
Yeah, I think Kira looks down at the masks and sees there's 3, and then looks like right at Brixby. And I will not put one on if you don't.
Oh, come on. Alright, fine.
I am very fortitudinous. Super 40.
Yeah, Asher will take his off, smooth his beard, and hand it to Alan.
Everyone has a
Before we
+4
go any
fort.
Oh
further,
no, they're cursed.
no, I just wanted to read a Sky Metal message from one of our patrons.
Yay.
This one is coming from Finder of Paths and Stars, who says, "You're one in a zillion.
No.
Zill, of course, spelled with an X. Enjoy this chunk of rock from space. It's got to be good for something, right?
Yay!
Yay. Thank
Hey,
you.
Finder.
Thank you,
Finder.
Finder.
Love you, Finder. Nobody cared who I was before I put on the mask, Brixby says, except it's muffled, so no one actually hears what he says.
Where's the third one going?
Kira puts a finger on her nose.
You guys want to like flip a silver disc?
Brixby hands out a silver disc.
I think I'll be fine.
Kira, you, Alwyn, and Brixby should wear masks. I feel extremely constituted.
Well, what if I feel extremely constituted?
Just say your numbers, you weirdos.
Yeah, I was going to say this is actually because Kira's not going to take it, so...
It's a con off. It's a con off.
I have a plus 15 to fortitude.
That's impressive.
Okay, I think Kira gets a mask.
I have a plus 16 when I'm raging.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, well, when you're raging. Yeah, you're not going to be raging when, what are you when you're not
What
raging?
about you, Halloween?
He's a plus 4.
I thought you were going to say like a -6.
Brixby and Alwyn just like fist bump with their masks on. Weird.
And both of their hands break.
And both, I was about to say, because they're low fort, both of their
Ow.
hands break.
I think plus 14 when I'm not raging.
Got him.
I don't care for this result, but it's fine.
It's clear you could bedazzle it, cover it in stickers. It's a blank canvas for your art.
I can only imagine it as those like extra freaky masks that are like somewhat translucent except for the facial features on there. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's like they've been used by bank robbers in movies before where it's like no, there's something about that that's so unsettling compared to like a normal
I think it looks like a mannequin face almost kind of looking thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
They're definitely Richard Nixon masks, but they're mostly transparent.
All right, let's rob a
They're
bank.
actually inside-out William Shatner masks.
They're those things have you ever seen those things that looks like a single sunglass lens that's your whole face, like mirrored? It's one of those.
excellent call on Asher checking out the old shreddy doos too. I'm glad we found these bad boys because even if they're not activated, this is sick. Good looking out, looker.
Container time. Yeah?
Yes, for the container store.
I guess I'll do the thing where I do the check to make sure that... I mean, I could just ride my disc through there and set it off again, but let's see how it goes. That's a 2 on the die, so if a 16 or a 17 tells me if it's trapped in a high-tech or mechanical fashion, I'm your guy.
Seems non-trapped.
Everything is very clear.
The mask is like clearly upside down and Brixby can't see through it, and he's like,
It's fine. Yeah, we got this.
The V mods on top, so it doesn't.
This is slotless. You can do it.
oh my god. Like, starting to look like a Warhammer 40k character with like a rebreather and giant... Yeah, no. Let's, so, let's go. I'll just go through. Why not?
Cracking open that particular door reveals a hallway with a door you just came in and a door at the south end, which is marked with a bright orange hexagonal sign. This door is big and beefy and metal. It has a porthole-like glass window, setting it at about like head height for like a non-Brixby.
Is there any rune or words on the sign, or is it just a hexagon, like maybe a stop?
It's like
sort
a
of
weird.
symbol?
It's like a weird kind of symbol with like a hexagon and 3 offset triangles. You could roll a linguistics check if you happen to know Androthan.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can figure this sign out, but you're quite the expert at these things. And then seeing on roll 20, Asher looks and then just kind of knows I think Brixby from across the room is smarter than I am because I can't physically reach that number.
What number, Brixby?
Prior to rolling a 28, Brixby puts his arms up in front of Asher for an up motion. So Asher could hold him up so he could look through the door just ever so slightly because he can't see it off the disc. And, yeah.
Nice.
Uppy.
Up, please.
And, yeah, so that's it. A 28 on his linguistics roll.
With a 28, Brixby is able to discern that this is the Androphin symbol for a danger biohazard.
So there's some sort of biohazard on the other side of this. I don't think it has anything to do with the space sickness that we've seen before. But we should be aware, especially because we just got these things. So maybe, be careful with your breathing.
Then he's going to check the door for trappy-doos before we do anything. Does it look like a door we can even open? 'Cause then,
It doesn't look like it's gonna open voluntarily.
all right. Well, let's check its trap sitch. That's only a 5 off a die for a 19. 20 if it's high-tech or mechanical.
Seems fine, but it does seem like you're gonna have to smash through it if you want to get it open.
There's no way to disable this device. It is just a smash-a-doodle.
It might be powered somehow, but the power's off.
So,
Brixby turns around.
we may need your capabilities, big stuff, because this door, which normally uses same kind of power that's in this, he points at a battery, it's not flowing. We can go try the nanite lab, see if that potentially is a way to turn on the power, or we can bash through this door, but we can't close it. And if what's on the other side is dangerous, then we run a risk. What do you all think?
I feel like at the word bash, Kira's already like, okay.
Right, never mind. Let's go for it.
Just
I've heard enough.
presses the mask to his face.
Do you want a bash roll?
Well, if you're using adamantine, it's basically just a matter of time. A lot of time, because this is a pretty hefty door, but if you're chopping it open, once you do, some horrible gas starts pouring out of this canister, and who is it that is not wearing the gas mask?
It's your boy, Matt Ups.
Yeah, second person in line.
Now, would you say that you all had those masks activated, or?
No,
Yeah,
Alwyn definitely does not. He just has it on. He hasn't turned down the
I don't
battery.
think, I mean, granted, yeah, he saw a biohazard, and I'm sure he would have been smart enough to think about it, because you just gave us a fair warning for that really cool linguistics check, but I'm dumb as heck. So I'm going to go with Jarrell and say that mine's probably also not on.
Yeah, I think Kira just barely has hers on her face, and she's just like ignoring Asher.
It's just a chin mask.
This is 110%, like...
Yeah.
Well, as the gas comes gushing out of this canister and basically fills the room, and it's like steadily just filling like the entire facility, really, I'm gonna need fortitude saves from everybody.
And don't forget, even when it's not activated, we do still get a small bonus.
3. That's
Yeah,
not
you
a
still
small
get
bonus.
a
at all.
plus.
But if you're wearing a cloak of resistance, then don't also include that. The resistance bonuses won't stack. Right?
Right, it's either or.
Yeah. Okay. So, dang, that only puts me at a +7. All right, here comes my fort save. Whoo! That went from a 1 to a 19, so that's a 26 from Brixby.
All right, you're good for about 6 seconds.
No, I'm out of there is what I am, my friend.
How about Kira?
Okay, so 2. 12 plus 2 plus 14.
Okay, so you're safe. And Asher?
True to form, Asher rolls I rolled a natural 1.
Ooh.
So that plus 15 doesn't mean anything.
All right. You are currently poisoned with decayed mutagenic fumes. Take 1 strength damage, 1 dex damage, and 2 con damage.
No.
How
1
about...
strength, 1 dex, 2 con.
Yep. How about
You said
Alwyn?
poison?
Yeah, that's poison.
Don't like it.
Alwyn is very worried. Quick question. It spread into that second room too?
Yeah, it fairly instantly... It was like it was pressurized.
I wasn't purposely not in the same room as everyone else, there just wasn't enough space in it, so I was hoping I got lucky. But yeah, he got a 16, which I think probably doesn't save at the level we're at.
Nope, you were poisoned too. Take 2 strength damage, 1 dex damage, and 1 con damage.
All right. So at the end of our round, Brixby double moves out of the door and shouts,
Shut the door! Shut the container door!
not the one we bashed, but this one. That's it.
Yeah, we need to step all the way.
Yeah, everybody gets like an action here. So Brixby double moved out and said to shut the door. What else we got?
We get like a full thing, like a standard and a move.
Yeah, you get your 6 seconds worth of actions.
Okay. So we could like activate a mask and then get out the door.
Yeah.
So that is what Alwyn is going to do.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
That's all. He was the most whatever race Asher is. So yeah, Alwyn will hit whatever you hit to turn on the battery on his pack as his standard, because I'm assuming it's a standard. It usually is for tech stuff. I couldn't find it on the description, but then his move action will be to go out the door.
How about Kira? You were right up at the entrance to this canister.
Yeah, so I'm going to move out of the first room, or we're also moving out of the second room, right? No, this one is closing. Okay, so then I think Kira's the last one out, so she'll move and close the door.
All right. And Asher.
Yeah, I mean, if that door is closed, can Asher see whether the gas is still coming through this door?
The room is definitely already permeated with the gas, so it's hard to tell if it's still coming out or if it's just all already here.
If it's possible, Asher would try and grab some of those tattered armor and see if he can't stuff the towel under the door situation, try and keep the fumes from coming through.
Okay. And let's see. I'm gonna need fort saves from every... Well, Brixby... Wait. Who turned on the mask? Just Alwyn?
Yeah, I really should have. But if I double moved, I would have been further out than this, for sure. Because I didn't shut any doors, so I'd kind of be probably closer to Al. I don't know if that still matters. But...
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna need another set of fort saves from everybody because Asher and Alwyn are poisoned. And
True.
everybody else doesn't have a mask on.
Should be wearing my mask. Oh, there we go, bud. That's a 9 from Brixby.
Alright, so that's a fail for Brixby. You are poisoned as well. That is 1 strength damage, 2 dex damage, and 2 con damage.
Very nice.
Alright, Alwyn, what do you got?
Rolled a 16 for a 22.
Alright, that's 1 successful save. But you're still poisoned. How about Kira?
But nothing ticks up because I saved, right?
Right.
That's a 5 for a 21, right? 14 plus 2.
Alright, so you're still good.
So wait,
And
that was 1-1-2 for Brixby, 1 strength, 1 dex, 1 con, or 2 con, or was it 1 strength?
It was 1,
2, 1.
Wait, it was...
It was 1-2-2 for Brixby. And Asher, you are already poisoned.
Yeah,
What do you do?
factored that in, but rolled a 15 on the dice for a 29.
Alright, so you've got 1 save as well. Everybody's got a round of actions again. What are you doing?
Turning on my mask.
We haven't there's still a second door to open, right?
There is a door to the north that's still closed, yeah.
See, this is the trap with those big box retail stores like the Container Store. You think you're going in there for a good deal, and you end up getting
Tons of ability damage. Yeah.
yeah.
Just massively damaged. If I can't kill you with enemies, I'll just do a container full of mutagenic gas. Alright, so Brixby turned on his mask. You going anywhere? Is anybody else doing anything in this time?
I think Kira's gonna wait to see what Asher does.
Owen is also waiting because he's not sure if we're gonna put a double layer of door in between us or if we're gonna check out that other room. Like, he doesn't know what we're
I think
doing.
we kind of need to see how everyone's poison goes before we can move forward. We all have to settle our course of this, because who knows, right?
Asher, choking in this tower, would shove more tattered armor bits under the door to the Container Store and see if that seems to help at all.
Okay, then Kira's doing the same thing.
Okay, I'm gonna need another set of fort saves from everybody.
Even
those that have their masks
Well,
on?
because we're still dealing with the poison. All of.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're poisoned.
Yeah, so I rolled a 6 for a 13.
So that's a failure from Brix. That's 2 strength damage, 1 dex, and 1 con.
Wow, this sucks.
How about Kira?
Oh gosh, 30, I think. 31.
That's plenty, so you're still good. How about Alwyn?
Alwyn rolled 1 lower than last time for a 21, so hopefully there's not too many more saves because I seem to be going down each roll.
Well, Alwyn feels like the poison has worked through his body after 2 successful saves, and with the mask on, he thinks he's good.
Well, then he'll free action say, it seems like it goes away after about 12 seconds.
And Asher?
Doesn't feel like that to me. Let's hope.
Yeah, Asher got the exact same roll and the exact same die for a 29.
All right.
Oh wait,
Asher,
no, you had a good roll last time. I forgot.
Has cleared the poison as well.
like, oh,
He's
no.
safe for the time being, but he has no mask.
So he must choke.
So you're in a situation here where the gas is still hanging in this room. It doesn't seem like it's seeping out any longer, but it's probably going to take a bit to disperse. And Brixby's poisoned.
Yep, I'm gonna roll.
He's still going to need to make the save.
17 with my reduced fortitude save.
That is exactly a save, meets beats. So you got 1 save.
Rough. Let's give it a try. I'm not optimistic. Yep, there we go. That's an 8 with a 2 off the die.
Ouch. Anything anybody can do for Brixby? He's starting to look rough.
Probably not.
I have lesser rest, but doesn't make much sense to use while he's still actively taking the damage unless one of them is about to kill him.
1 strength, 2 dex, and 2 con.
You want me to cast lesser rest? That would clear your con damage, I believe.
No,
right?
you couldn't take. I mean, I'm at 5 con at this point. I don't even think you could. If you rolled a 1d4 at a 4, then maybe. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's 1d4 damage.
Sorry, that was how many to dex? I know that it was 2 to con. Was it 2 to dex as well?
It was 2 to dex as well.
All right, very cool. Thank you. Yeah, does anybody want
I
to
can
do anything?
diagnose a
or-
disease, but I cannot remove poison.
Well, I'm just gonna roll again.
I can treat poison. Hold on, let me see if Asher's able to help you at all.
Yeah, because my fort save's going down each time. Like, it's down now 2 points.
Yeah, Asher would rush out and see if he couldn't somehow treat poison. So it's a 17 total, and it's if it exceeds the DC, you'd get a bonus. But I don't know if it doesn't say if it meets or exceeds. I don't know how that ruling goes.
What was the total?
A 17.
Okay. So, I mean, I think it's meets beats because that's generally how it is for pretty much any check.
So that would give you a +4 competence bonus on your next save.
Oh my god, thank you.
Oh, nice. So that'll stack with the fort.
Yeah, but I roll a 6, so that's a 15.
Oh.
How much damage
That
do I take,
included
Sam?
it. Oh, man.
1 strength, 2 dex,
Very cool.
and 1 con.
Y'all, I can't adventure after this. I don't want to be like crappy, but like my deck, I have 7 dex damage and 6 con damage. This is if Brix doesn't pass, he might straight up die. But like this
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, do you want me to try to cure some of that con a little just to keep you alive?
I can't tell you how to play your character,
Yeah.
but I'm literally dying in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alwyn on his turn is going to touch Brixby and give him back 2 points of con.
okay, cool. I just have 5 points of
And
con
he can do that one more
damage.
time. Oh, wait, no. Actually, he can do that 5 more times. Dear God, I have a lot of level 2 Oracle spells.
Okay. So I guess that
So I can keep doing that every round. It's not a lot, but it's enough to maybe offset the con and keep you alive.
no, definitely. I appreciate it because I mean, can Asher keep doing the poison thing, or is that just a once situation? Is it multiple rounds? Is it like?
It doesn't say once a day, but he failed.
Okay, no worries. I'm gonna give this.
I only have a +5, so I've got to roll a 12 or higher, and I didn't.
Oh, I rolled a 16 this time. So with the reduction of damage, that did put me. That's actually a 21, but it still passed. My apologies there. Yeah, I dealing with a lot of con damage here.
Well, the good news besides the passing is Brixby feels like the poison has run its course after that. So, despite not getting the consecutive saves to fight it off, he doesn't feel like he's getting any worse. He just, he took a hefty dose of thousands of year old mutagenic gas to the face, and that'll do a number on a rat.
Final count: 5 strength damage, 7 dexterity damage, and 5 con damage after Alwyn. So Brixby's just laying on the disc at this point, and is like,
We should go.
And Alwyn is just like standing over him, just like every 6 seconds there's like a flash as he touches him and gives him stuff.
Kira's sort of like lingering by the door, catatonic, just drops the sword on the ground and is just like under her breath, just like, I'm sorry, just over and over again until we're ready to go.
Thank you so much. All right, so you can apply the next ones to Dex or con. That's good. That puts me.
Okay.
That puts me at.
Yeah.
So I only had 1 damage
That
of
puts you at
con.
full con.
Well, I only had 1 damage before you rolled that 2, and I feel like you could just
Oh.
start going at the
Yeah.
Dex or something if you wanted to. So.
Yeah, well, if I knew that, I would have done that to Dex because you'll heal 1 overnight.
All right. Thank you so much.
So put that 2 into one that you had the other one on.
We'll
yeah.
go from 7 Dex damage to 5.
Yeah.
So like Brixby's still looking incredibly weak. It's like,
Thank you.
And the rest of us will be fairly good after a night's rest because we only had either 1 or 2 and everything, right?
Yeah, Brixby's the only one who went into the fail spiral.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, it was bad.
because we'll all heal 1 overnight.
it's a shame it wasn't like a
Thank goodness it
disease.
wasn't drained.
Yeah. Oh God. Thank goodness it wasn't drained. Yeah, that's a real good point. Especially because we're at the level where that wouldn't be too unreasonable to like encounter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
I think one procking that hard would be pretty unreasonable for this level.
Well, let's scoot the heck out of here. Perhaps.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's time to maybe nap outside, and then come back in all
Yeah,
strong.
I think Alan will actually say, should we maybe head back to the lumberyard and rest?
We could. I'm also fine to sleep near here. We didn't really explain what we were doing to everybody at the lumberyard. We shouted back once, like, trust us. this needs to happen. So I don't know if they're gonna like, I'm really tired, but I don't think they're gonna accept us very much. Just put my disc in the ground.
Oh, actually, yeah, we can camp out in front. We have the, actually, in care. Oh, yes, I guess we could just camp out in front. We have that cloak that Red Fang gave us.
Yeah, the fire cloak. Just burn me to death in there, please.
Whole time skating over all these losers that we beat up before I lost all of my vitality.
Well, yeah, if you climb on out of the well, it's probably pretty late in the day when you emerge, and I know it's difficult to keep track of time when you're under the earth, and obviously there was no sun coming on down here. This was all in darkness that you did all of this. The farm that you opened the well for is empty, and the sun is going down, and there's no sign of Red Fang and Alaris the prisoner. There's just that rock that you slid aside to open up the well, and woods around, and then maybe some sounds of birds. And
We should still probably set up a watch. I know we all need to rest, but this isn't a time frame thing, so we can do
I can't remember the mental math because it's 8:23 where I am. But it's like, what, 10, 12 hours for us to do this with all of us getting our 8 hours and the overlappy dues?
Yeah, I think it adds like 2 hours on if we each do
And
a watch.
Kingsley watches.
Ah, yes. And
Yeah,
just
Kingsley can talk.
Kingsley.
It's fine.
And Alwyn, if he does a 4-hour watch, he can get 2 hours worth of work done on his. I actually looked that up earlier. You don't get to count the entire 4 hours for a watch because it says you have to have part of your concentration on actually making sure people aren't coming up and murdering you. But he can get 2 hours towards his bracers that he's making, which is the first 2 hours worth it because we haven't had any time to rest since we bought all that stuff.
Well, yeah, so as Brixby says that we need to watch, I think Kirib says nothing and just will take chainsaw and go sit on the edge of whatever camp they've set up in watch form.
We just light the cloak on fire or whatever we do to activate that.
just basically camping out at the abandoned farm where you were anyways.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Push my disc and desiccated body towards big stuff. Please.
And he goes, okay, and just shoves it
Rolls him
towards
over.
her.
Hey, how you doing? Look, what happened here is the product of me not listening to my own brain. I want you to know I saw a sign that said what was inside was dangerous. And I told us to knock the door down. Look, this isn't... Oh, God. Sorry, everything's spinning. This isn't your fault. It's mine. You protected us, as always. If you could do me a favor and just kind of slide me off the disc. I don't think I can really sleep on here. But I'm serious, my friend. This is not your fault. You did your job, as you always do.
Kira's quiet for a little bit, and says, "Okay, thanks, Brix. Feel better," and just tips the disc slightly with enough force to kind of get him back over there.
He lands on his feet, of course, because he's wearing cats with a meow.
No, thank you. But seriously,
And just kind of before he passes out,
thank you again for always keeping us safe, Kira.
and then he snores. Into the fire.
Well, can I get a perception check from Kira for the first watch?
Sure. Yeah. That's a 19 total.
All right. Nothing seems to be amiss over the course of the night. If I could just get perception checks from the others. I don't think the order matters super specifically.
18 for 32 from the corpse that was a rat.
The corpse of Brixby is super vigilant.
Halloween rolled a 7 for I believe that's going to be a 5. Yes, that is a 5.
Nice. Alan is fairly sure that nothing's happening. Very confident, staring down at the fruit belt.
He's actually just like humming to himself, holding the leather braces in his hands and looking up at the stars and completely ignoring the fact that he's supposed to be watching out for danger.
Making a Chiquita banana hat out of the fruit on his belt.
And turn for Asher.
Yeah, I didn't think I would beat anybody with the roll that I made. Asher with 9 total, I think, is certainly a little shooketh and worn out, and not fully at ease here at the old skeleton place. We were warned, it's abandoned because somebody dug a well, something crawled up, and he done died. And we're like, cool, but, save the world, etc. And so, yeah, he's a little preoccupied and distracted. And he's gonna die because his roll was so bad.
Well, nothing obviously bothers you over the course of the night. It seems quiet. Maybe each of you, here's just like the littlest bit of rumble here and there. But it's just, animals rustling through the trees or the wind moving the grass around. No big deal. And you had a big day yesterday. You found the Technic spy. You took her prisoner. You found Androphan ruins and robots talking about unity in Cassandra. The morning comes. Most of you, I'd say, feel a little bit better. I think Brixby's still probably feeling rather weak, even if he's mostly back to normal.
Oh yeah, it's one of those does a flex and the muscle falls to the bottom of the arm visual gags. Yeah, one of those guys.
All right, well, I feel marginally better. How's everyone else doing?
I think I'm feeling pretty good. A little bit weak, but I think everything else seems to have kind of healed itself as I slept.
Is everyone feeling up to going back in, finishing what we started and whatnot?
What if that space is still poisonous?
We got these masks. I say that everybody except for Asher checks the space first. Mask activated. Or at least maybe just one of us just goes ahead and sees if there's still gas with the mask activated.
I'll go.
Well, I appreciate that big stuff. Just want everyone to know that these things can work about 9 more times each. Each time is about an hour. So, just, we could just probably throw one charge. We'll use yours and mine, or I guess you volunteered, but...
Brixby's still feeling kind of guilty about being like, yeah, break down the biohazard door. We got this thing.
Yeah, Kira's definitely still, just off. But will be super eager to jump back in that cave and, I don't know, not punch the gas canister, because that didn't seem to help the last time, but she's going to be upset at it. Are we doing this now? Can I do it? Or are we going to bed? Cut that out.
Well, why don't you... are you climbing back down the well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as Kira climbs down the well by herself, the mask on, it's the, familiar ruin that you all spent a big chunk of yesterday in. But, that haze from the mutagenic gas seems to still kind of be present, but it's definitely like it's been dissipating over the course of several hours. It's not continuously leaching out.
Can you do that thing where you test the wind? You know how we get all this underground wind? Underground poisoned wind? And just... doesn't taste poisonous. But I don't know. I guess I didn't really...
I mean, are you taking the mask off to do that?
Probably not. Yeah, so she'll walk back to the foot basin of the well and shout back up. I think it's okay. Not that I would know since I didn't get poisoned, but it's probably fine.
Brixby will join you. You will climb down the well. I don't know any of the words for the parts of the well. Oh, hey, look at that.
I think
Well
mouse
casing.
sounds right.
Yeah, it's also referred to
Well
as the casing. So he braces himself against the casing and kind of works his way down. Seems to be the only consistent thing. Right in with your well knowledge. I'm sure somebody in our Discord's like, come on.
It knows about well.
Yeah, how did you
please.
not know? It's gonna be like other or something. Oh wait.
Oh, it's totally gonna be Sam,
too. But yeah, they're just gonna be like, come on. I mean, well casing, and the top is called a.
I went to school for knowing well parts, so
Yeah, there's the Wellington,
Knowing well
and the
parts of
Wellesley.
The slobber knocker.
But I think maybe as
humdinger.
the rest of the party is headed back down into this ruin that, it had its ups and downs. I think I'm going to go to bed.
Good night, Sam.
Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam. Good night, decayed mutagenic fumes.
Oh my god.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review. Yeah.
I really
Finder,
I could,
prepare
you know,
to be
I had the-
uncomfortable as we talk about you
I had
extensively.
the pleasure of meeting and hanging with him in May at PaizoCon. Yeah, solid guy. GM'd a few one-shots for me. Now GMing a Pathfinder 2e game. Solid dude.
Cool guy.
Small round of applause.
Met with him at that.
Are you uncomfortable
Also,
yet?
met with him at that same PaizoCon and went to a GCP show with him. It was nice.
Cool.
Yeah, please join our Discord so we can weird you all the way out.
I like this
See,
new feature,
all along.
this new
I know.
segment that we have.
We've been doing this to
Embarrass the
Bellendora
listener.
for a long time, though.
I know. I
feel
was going to
like
say
we've
it's
been
everyone
mentioned-
else's turn.
And Newt, and maybe Commodore. I feel like those are the three that have been mentioned prior.
We've made a few shout-outs to come.
Yes. But now it's time for the rest of you